okay, we say for person like na comment no shaman you say yeah be ahwe na Aaron Antwi NPP communications member, very fantastic communicator. Na near tin so what say on twema wo when this info buga ne mfa no so. Say NPP for ezo enya that particular breed of communicators no. We buga or not this be face buga. Aaron one of those people speaks with correct facts and figures, everything on point. O can be reply with the facts. Now on the head of Sammy Arye and a copy now good morning Ghana so now issues on Galamsey and democracy and attack now you see Galamsey no one seminal and Aaron NP making submissions be Dr. Arye so previously Edgar making submissions be on even demonstration now NPP for democracy and attack no you see on this my Muslim money now most no more can say NPP for say insensitive say they are on commemoration ama the 8 gallant men no free mo say dey NPP for finding no suitable some be call mo demonstration now we na error say hen ha dia portrait ti break me and cancel na ye ka hypocrisy amomo hypocrisy in their born is stinking, it stinks. Mo hypocrisy no stinks. Enya mo na ye friend is saying they flood see one crime nipa over 34 no quite the team record there omo ayanti omo kan yan hu omo no mo so wu ye ayanti ho bi man team record the crime kan ho asem the team record there ba news ma Ghana fo nyina hu ye over 34 no mo wu ye no Arye tie flood ni si Arye tie ye hu se mo parade mo ho event say National Thanksgiving Service President say to showers of blessings na nipa 34 ewa akra ho na mo ye the same program no be sinne ye hu se president kompo kohwehwe families a mo nkrofo free man na se bibi nimpo and this as a result this flood about as a result of my negligence sika beto ho no ma mo pese mo parade e friend say economy no e dey ye optics dey kire enti mo kipiska ama nkrofo awuo but na ba be ka insensitivity ho asem anye bia the fact so beto abonten say as at that day now a day before this particular demonstration in Bon Nana be echo asempa oka kire obi say as at that day no a day before no enyume kompuna o se ekosisi omo ye no enyume around 4 that time nimpo na as at nana be kasa oni obi interview no na NPP nya any invitation from the NDC and as a government on say omo ba be see am the 8 gallant men no flow into they are inviting them but no official invitation bia na so mo so schedule omo hold that schedule omo demonstration hold that. What's your point? So be jam because say na NPP for insensitive near there any omo for nya asempoto Aaron on the Dr. Arye behwe on the man left right center now on Galamsey issue and on so ba mo ba say o NPP for ye nim your point is ye mpe the NPP for ye the NPP for ye nti ni ato abati mo hwe na mo ni hwe kam sorry nkofie the NPP for ye no ano no eno nti ni ato abati mo e de mo maba Galamsey net saying that's the question mo buy na mo se mo beti me aso be Galamsey no akosi saying enya afi na be ni nim the NPP for ye eni nim de kufa na ba ye twam otifie odwe ne ho mo kan de mo so mo timi aye de mo ye. That's what you are supposed to say. Yeah, my tram here in the moye or now how went there be massa. Mohenam conversations as some coffee and concorda. And this party no gum one master to the point of mean defending one casama by. No better now, man, can the emo de. Aaron, I found Dr. Arye want to know. A man who found no to say Dr. Arye nothing is admitting to insist so come off and go to conversation.
Tia yesi me ba beji petition ye po ba mo ga me pese me promise wo say no me official petition taker for NPP
Jubilee House
yes and the mom nko demonstration so mo ba konkwa no the petition ba o mo letter ba ho ame na me reply na ma sign wo mo petition ba ame na me kwa akwaji me official petition taker for NPP any demo any mom nko so mo kwa mia na mekwa akoje mia obi ankonkoje say government His Excellency Mahama or their sheme gown say me na meji petition bia NPP for the beba ene omo ma ho omo do petition na omo de agya wo ba bi na so omo be fie ho pa de ana omo krata bi beba ho Me and me yano. We say crown His Excellency Mahama be mama response. Choleta fine yano ama. Aye, come. The omoke Kenya me and me yano. It is almost slow me di. Samaya samai twencha ma omo. Samaya kakaya ma oma. Omo be hu me de bia. They will see me. As long as almost omo ma kola o mama amen nano. Also na. Me and me akwaje. Me ka chiro Mugabe nya agro na medi. Say me official petition taker.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. So here we go. Aaron, you just heard Nana Antwi. He said whether you like it or not, she's now the official petition taker of the for the NPP.
Bro, someone arrogating a certain portfolio for herself shouldn't really be a bother to me this morning. I want to discuss the germane issues before I come to the Nanaya matter, because my brother Sammy sits here and says that we were insensitive on the said day.
Yes.
I think, let me be very clear. You know, on the eve of the demonstration, the NPP, through its General Secretary, issued a letter commiserating with the AIDS gallant men and speaking to the nation. 4 p.m. of that day, that is the 5th of August, our national organizer was on Asempa FM and stated clearly that as of the time he was sitting there, he had not received, or the party had not received, any official invitation to that interfaith ceremony or commemoration that the government held. So when he mentioned that, in fact, I messaged the national organizer that, is he serious about it? He said, yes. They've all heard that there will be an interfaith service for these 8 gallant men. And as such, well, they have not received it. We are proceeding on the demonstration. But you see, let's not be hypocritical in our thoughts and our ways. We are very young people. And anytime when issues come like this, we must assess it and ask ourselves, have we even been fair to the facts before we even proceed on labeling people as insensitive? My brother, on the 29th day of June, we woke up to a terrible situation happening in Ghana. There were floods all over Accra. I was scheduled to go for a revival service at Pehe Methodist. The church was actually swallowed by rains on that day. It is reported that over 34 people died. You know what happened? The president on the following day, he took a helicopter, flew on the tops or the heads of Ghanaian people, just examining this issue, got down and never paid a single visit to the families of any of the 34 people who died. The height of insensitivity is that the president then again the following day adorned himself in white and said that he's going on a national Thanksgiving. And the sad thing and the most painful thing the president did is that when he was given the opportunity to speak at the said event, his first statement or his prelude was to sing "There Shall Be Showers of Blessings." While the previous day, 34 people have died out of floods. He was singing "There Shall Be Showers of Blessings." What are you telling the 34 Ghanaians who died? Is it because that none of them are ministers of state? None of them are appointees of this government. And so we are not paying attention to them. You come and you mention sensitivity. Granted, we are even holding on to sensitivity. Ask yourself, why did the 8 people die? They died because of Galamsey. Ask yourself more today. And any reasonable Ghanaian will attest to that, the fact that Galamsey has been worse off. I'm not the one saying this. The wife of Samuel Abuaje, the deputy NADMO boss, who died through this, in his speech, told President Mahama that my husband has died in vain. I have the video. That Galamsey is worse off. You gave about 18 promises in your manifesto, chapter 4 of your manifesto. Specifically, chapter 4.3, 18 promises on Galamsey. On top of it, you had some of their ministers now, then key opposition members. Some just said that we can use 1 week to end Galamsey. Ask yourself, even Samuel, you know the certain. He cried on the day Omane Boama died. 1 year commemoration, Sam George is nowhere to be found. People are questioning him whether it was crocodile tears. On top of it, the lands minister, then a deputy minority leader, even one Sunday afternoon, Moro, told the whole country that the solution to Galamsey is declaring a state of emergency. He becomes lands minister, and another fateful afternoon, Sunday afternoon, he organizes a press conference, and all he did was to cry and cancel the licenses of Akunta mining. Or the charade of it, I'm sure today we are going to discuss Adamus. Because what is happening in Adamus is the same thing that happened under Akunta mining. The selective justice should stop. We will discuss that. I'm putting that even aside. This lands minister is even still on after reshuffle. And it has been 1 year and you tell me that you are sensitive and you've met at UPSA. To me, when the 8 people died, I felt very sad because nobody in this country should wake up in the morning with the quest to serve the republic and end up dying in such gruesome manner. It shouldn't happen. We should pray against it. We should ensure that we maintain effort or we work towards preventing subsequent incidents. But the 8 Ghanaian men are equally humans like the 34 Ghanaians who died out of flats. You know the insensitive nature of it. There was money sitting down for guard. Take the said money, distill the data, deal with it, and reduce the effect of flooding. Moro, the insensitivity is that Minister Atoforsin says that when he spends, the problem he's going to have is that it will affect his numbers because he wants to be a president somewhere and contest Dr. Baumia.
Is that what he said?
Who doesn't know he wants to be president?
No,
Let's even put it that aside.
Has he said that?
We will come to that. We are politicians. Okay. We are journalists. Probably you want to deal with what you are seeing. But when we can clearly infer. My brother, he did not spend. The money is there. Pick it. Give it to the appropriate bodies for them to distill the gutters and deal with it so that we don't get such devastating effect. He did not spend. The sad thing is that when there was a reshuffle, my brother, if you check a video which had the Greater Accra Regional Minister and is then my majority deputy chief whip, Madam Doyo, the Honorable Doyo.
Yes, comfort.
You get to know that the Greater Accra Regional Minister is even asking who is Honorable Gilbert, who is the Works and Housing Minister, who has been reshuffled to defense. The Greater Accra Regional Minister should be working directly with to curb this. And you know the sad thing, Honorable Gilbert is going to be the defense minister. And still, you know, the government has placed some military men to be doing the demolition. She must work with him. Unfortunately, she does not know the Honorable Gilbert. This is the state we are in, the insensitivity. So my brother, don't go there. Your hypocrisy is even stinking. Don't go there. Now back to the matter. When I was selected to come to this show for the first time, I remember when I sat here, you started reading my whole profile. I never knew that you knew where I schooled, where I've been dealing or doing certain matters. It means that there are protocols in life. For me, I have the greatest of respect for everybody in this life. I've always been mentioning this. You know, I know Sammy. Sammy was my junior back in UCC. We were in the same hall. More importantly, in the same church. Just that I became a church executive. He chose not to be. Born Presbyterian, would remain a Presbyterian and die Presbyterian. It tells you that my moral values tells me a lot. And so when NPP hit on the street to do democracy under attack, in fact, let me deal with that before I come to this. Democracy attack does not mean that democracy has collapsed. So if you say that we went for a demonstration and aside democracy is not under attack, then I disagree with you. Moreover, Adolf Hitler of Germany was appointed chancellor in 1933. He ended up banning opposition parties and became a dictator. Go to the Soviet Union and be dealing with Stalin and others. He was even a general secretary of a political party, got into power through democratic means, and became a dictator. If we say democracy in our times, we have plethora of issues to mention. Is it about the insult going wrong? I will not endorse insults. But insults are not criminal offenses. If they are, then President Mahama should be the first person to be arrested. He chose to malign a whole tribe. He called the Kufuado and the Sachin people Sakawa boys. The height of it. The height of it. And the insensitive nature is that they come and now go to churches, stay on church podiums, and start preaching against this. But he started it. After dealing with the tribe and nobody cautioned him, I remember President Akufo-Addo reported this issue to Catholic Bishop Conference. When nothing was said about it, my brother, he now drew it down to Akufo-Addo and started calling him Jack Toronto. You do this, today when somebody calls you can you tend to move to arrest the person. Democracy being under attack does not mean it has collapsed. It creeps. It started with BOG governor. People just got into his house, broke into his house. Even it was reported that a certain amount of money was stolen.
I mean, the former BOG governor.
Yeah, former BOG governor. That is Addison.
Addison,
yes,
yeah, Dr. Ernest Addison.
Ernest Addison. That is what happened. We've gone through this process. There was this current video of where the president was telling the national security coordinator that I think 150 million or so. Twitter boys reproduces same video of which his boss, the Minister for Government Communication, has even affirmed the said video and ascribed an explanation to it. I'm telling you, the people were arrested over 48 hours. They were behind bars. What are we doing to ourselves in this country? And we are speaking about it. You have an issue. Now back to the Nanaya matter. Yesterday I watched your interview with the Honorable Osahin Alexander Afenyomak, and I don't want to have a problem with how he arranges his name. Now the point is, after watching his video and you playing the video over here, I went to Adom TV, no Adom FM, and I had was there. So yesterday's evening, when I was informed that I should come on the show and I saw her picture, saw a lot of people making comments about it, and I felt that, well, if it is what I saw in the video alone, of which she Nanaya Jantwa admits at Adom, then clearly I don't think there was an insult. Unless Nanaya can come and tell us that there were other conversations around which we have not heard, of which she stated same on Adom FM, that there were other conversations. You see, those conversations should be treated with prejudice, because I did not hear. She is the only person who heard it, and she's making complaints about it. But you see, on your Wednesday show, you have Uncle Kwesi Pratt over here.
Yeah.
I don't think that even in the first place, you bring anybody who is below the standard of Uncle Kwesi Pratt. It's because you build certain protocols. And if you read law, particularly in public international law, there are legalities and conventions. You find a president visiting this country, a president of another country. You know, we lay a red carpet for the person. Let's say the president of country A visits Ghana, and we choose not to lay the red carpet. It is not an offense, but we breach a clear protocol. And so, if you listen to Afenyomak, he said, with deference to you, Nanaya, we believe that it shouldn't be you alone. But in any case, you must even understand these issues from the history of it. We were in this country, my brother, when the NDC went on a demonstration at BOG, the director of security, the director of BOG security, big man, a lawyer, a retired military officer of this country, they even chose not to even give the letter to the person and said that the person is not of their standard. You feel that you want to choose who should be the standard for the new patriotic party. Why? As I've maintained, if it is the video of Afenyomak making those pronouncements, then you would agree with me that there was no insult. Unless, as she said on several platforms, that there were several conversations being held around which got him infuriated, then that is fine. Because myself, I didn't hear it. Yourself, you didn't. I was part of the demonstration. I was a bit closer to them, but I was tired. So I decided to excuse myself for them to do the presentation. My brother, the one who did the presentation to Nanaya is no mean a person. The deputy national youth organizer of our party, of which I serve under, Sandra Sarkodie. And are you telling me that Nanaya is above Sandra Sarkodie to take the said petition? Nanaya should examine her own comments on, I think, UTV or so, when the Bank of Ghana governor chose to use the director security. But you see, I'm a progressive person. Some of these issues should be dealt with very well. When NPP comes to power, I'm not sure the Sammy, when they are demonstrating will pick somebody they believe in their thoughts is someone who should even be accompanied by people to come and receive their petitions. When we start to accord ourselves with that greatest of respect, I'm sure a democracy will do fine. Let's not be creating or playing a gender card. That is a conversation, and you see, I get this conversation a lot. Anytime anytime the NPP set an agenda, the NDC has a nice way of bringing another conversation to cover it. You would agree with me that the demonstration was a success. When I go to the grounds, I was on a TV show in the morning. I go to the grounds around 10. When I got there and I saw the numbers, the first thing I told Nanabiu is that, say, pray that there is no stampede. Because if there is stampede, trust me, the NPP would have a lot to be explaining. Because the people were too much. I was asking, where are you from? Too many people over there. And you get to know that the demonstration was a success, and there is a way the NDC wants to pull a certain gender card and be dealing with this matter. It is fine she's registering her displeasure. It is fine she's arrogating to herself that she will be the one receiving petitions from the NPP. We have no problem. When it is time and we get there and we have a displeasure, we'll register same. And nobody should come and dictate how the NPP should be running its affairs. We agree, there are protocols. I'm not sure you bring somebody you believe that this is not fit for this platform to sit on Good Morning Ghana. This is New Patriotic Party. It is the government in waiting. And if we are registering our displeasure on the numerous arrests, you know the interesting thing, when they started arresting a lot of people, they chose to arrest their own party executive in a shady manner that is insulted Dr. Baumia. Dr. Baumia issued a release. I read that insults are no criminal offense. With insults are no criminal offense. Do not hide under that. If insults are criminal offense, I maintain firmly the first person to be arrested is President Mahama, because he labeled a whole tribe as a Chimsa Kawa boys. Okay. Nobody spoke against him on that.
All right.
He went ahead to be describing people.
So I don't want us to spend all day on this matter, but I just have just one question for you, Aaron. You know, you raised the issue about the caliber of person who was delegated to receive the petition on your behalf.
Not caliber of person. I'm talking about office.
Office. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Maybe the choice of my words, but you raised issues with the person who received your petition on your behalf, and the fact that you agree with the minority leader that it could have been better. It could have been better, and then you took us back into memory lane when the minority held a similar protest to the central bank. And at the time was the head of security or director of security who received the petition on their behalf. But the NDC didn't even present the petition because they thought it was disrespectful. Now, I've just been thinking that, look, in all of this, so you take the case of Nana Ajantwa, whose position is analogous to, say, a minister of state.
Deputy minister,
not a minister, so a deputy minister of state. Okay. Isn't that enough? I'll start with that first, and then we can go back to the director of...
let's make that comparison.
Okay.
The NDC was not demonstrating to Jubilee House.
Right.
They were demonstrating to
Bank of Ghana. It was the minority, actually.
Good. The minority, yes.
It wasn't even the entire party. It was just the minority.
So, now check the structure of BOG and ask yourself, is a director of BOG no means a less person in the said organization? Definitely not. So if you have your preference to choose who you would think that the said person should receive your petition, why do you feel so big and entitled that you want to determine say or otherwise for another political party? You can't. Let's accord ourselves that respect. That is the belief of the New Patriotic Party.
The challenge, however, is that, Aaron, even though you have made a case, in fact, you've actually justified why you still think that there was nothing wrong with the director of security to have collected or to have been attempt to collect or to receive the petition on behalf of the central bank or the Bank of Ghana. Don't you think that the government of the day also have every reason to justify why they don't have a problem with Nana collecting or receiving a petition on behalf of the presidency.
Moro, do you know who a deputy minister is in an administration?
Tell me.
So if you read Article 78 of the Constitution, it justifies it. We appoint Minister of State and Deputy Minister. Let's say I'm a Minister of State of Transport. I'm just making an assumption. I have a deputy, and the deputy, let's say it's Sammy. When I'm not in the country, Sammy cannot act in my capacity. Oh, you know that? There must be another substantive minister coming to act in my capacity.
Right.
It is why when Omane Boama died.
By the way, people say you look like him.
Like Omane Boama.
You look very much like him, and you sound like him. Anyway, please go ahead.
You see, it is why when Omane Boama died as a substantive minister, the president, or per law, we had the finance minister acting as the substantive minister, or acting in the position of the said defense minister. Broja Jemfi, who was the deputy, was not asked, or per law cannot act in that capacity. This is the new patriotic party. This is the new patriotic party. And I've always mentioned, we are not an opposition party. We are government in waiting. And you bring a deputy minister to meet us to receive it. It is why Osahine mentioned that. You see, at least when they brought you, they should have added others. Then we get to know that you place much premium to what we are doing. And because if the NPP or the NDC, whichever political party is in power, is in disarray, it affects our democracy. It affects our democracy. So you must place premium on it. So if you feel that an organization like Bank of Ghana, a director security is not qualified to receive your petition, why should a deputy minister or someone qualified who is analogous to the said portfolio be qualified to take a petition?
All right. Hey, you have any quick responses to make? So we can move on
to... not quick. He's made a lot of statements, and I'm surprised that he's making those statements. First of all, a presidential staffer is not a deputy minister. You can check. If you want to defend vociferously the way my good brother Aaron is defending, you must be clear with the facts. Presidential staffers are synonymous to ministers of state. It is presidential aides that are synonymous to deputy ministers. So you got that wrong. You need to get that right. Secondly, Moro.
Yes, sir.
If it is right for a director for security, in the imagination of the NPP, it is good for a director of security at Bank of Ghana, not even a deputy governor or a governor, a director at Bank of Ghana can take a petition. But a presidential staffer who is synonymous to a minister cannot take a petition. That is how flawed the logic of the NPP is. You are comparing a director at a state institution to a minister of state. What kind of illogical comparison is this? Secondly, Moro, I have told you that Madam Nanaya Jantwa is a former general secretary of a political party. So if Justin Frimpong Kodia, who is a general secretary of a political party, have the right to demonstrate and expect that his petition should be taken, a former general secretary, a position Madam Nanaya Jantwa occupied several years before Justin Frimpong Kodia even thought of doing politics. So Madam Nanaya Jantwa cannot take a petition. But Justin Frimpong Kodia can take a petition. What kind of illogical analysis is this? It is because, like I said, the NPP see themselves above every other human in Ghana. It is right for them to do this, but not right for another person to do same. You have the right to do a demonstration. Present people you think should do the demonstration and present a petition. But government, people acting in the stead of the president, people whom the presidency has delegated, acting on behalf of His Excellency the President, a presidential staffer synonymous to a minister cannot take a petition. My brother, are you serious of what you are saying? Is there something that you really want to defend on this platform? And he made mention of the point that, And the NPP issued a statement, and that was enough. Moro, do you know what is funny about this? My brother says that the NPP was not officially invited. You were not invited, but you had the cause to issue a statement.
Right.
Oh, please, let me talk. When you were talking, I was quiet. Let me talk. You had the presence of mind to issue a statement, but you go around because you want to satisfy your selfish, self-serving interest to go on a demonstration at a time the country was in a state of, let me say, mourning or thanksgiving because of what had happened. That is the height of insensitivity that you demonstrated. And especially when the basis for which Moro, the demonstration was had, was that don't make sense. He is here saying that, oh, the people have been arrested because of insult. I beg to differ. The people were not arrested because of insult. As for insult, a lot of people have insulted almost everyone in Ghana. These are people who issue direct threat to the life of the president. Camilla, Minat, who is also known as Baumia, but they issue direct threat to the president's life.
Right.
And you are, you sit here, a student of law, defending this. That if somebody had issued death threats to the president and the president Kufa would have said this. And so you must not trivialize the issue and pretend as though we are talking about just insult. It is not about insults. These are people who directly actually threaten the president's life, including those on TikTok and TikTok Live and what have you. And so the comparison you are making is business. Secondly, you said our judiciary and what have you. Meanwhile, you wanted to create a parallel between Untumi's case and Adamu's case. Meanwhile, in both situations, justice has been delivered. So what really is the basis for your, analysis? He says that, Moro.
Okay.
President Mahama demonstrated insensitivity because when the floods happened, he only flew to assess the situation. So what should the president have done?
Okay.
To know the extent of the flood. This is a president that decided to be prudent and efficient with resources. To know the extent of flood, President Mahama did not need to swim in the floods to know. Neither did he need to walk in the floods to know the extent of the flood. The president had to be sophisticated and efficient with the use of resources.
Okay.
By flying to assess the full impact of it. The president did not end the Moro. The president actually cost 350 million Ghana cedis to be released.
Okay.
150 million for relief items, 200 million for construction of drains, the silting gutters, and what have you. That is the mark of good leadership. That's the mark of a president that actually responded to it. What happened under the NPP?
Okay.
Why? What happened to the millions of dollars that was given to the sanitation industry to even work on the Odo River? What did we see? What did we see? What work was done in that regard? Moro.
Yep.
Do you know that when the flood happened, the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, wore Adidas sneakers and was walking through the flats.
Okay.
And creating the impression that he thinks about the people of Ghana. And that he cared so much about the people of Ghana. That beyond the optics, what really did the flag bearer do? But when His Excellency the President declared 2 days for all of us to put ourselves together, be on the streets, help in the silting drains, declared 2 days for National Sanitation Day. Dr. Baumia did not step a foot there. He did not care about, you are criticizing and empathizing with the people of Ghana about the floods. But when an opportunity is presented to you to show true commitment in making sure that floods end in this country, Dr. Baumia did not show up. He was nowhere to be found. Neither did he even take the opportunity to even distribute a few, relief items to the people of Ghana. All he had to do was to wear Adidas sneakers. and walk around. But when the opportunities come for him to show true commitment to the matter, he was nowhere to be found. What should our president? What else would the president do apart from making sure that he provides relief items and do actual capital investments in making sure that the situation is abated? Why didn't we inaugurate a task force to engage in demolition of structures that are placed in the waterways?
Okay.
You understand the point? Enough is being done.
Okay.
Moro, he made mention of the fact that I mean, he actually delved into obscurantism.
Okay.
And said that, Moro, the greater Accra minister was with somebody he didn't know Gilbert. Everybody knows that the Honorable Gilbert Kenneth J is largely known by everyone as Kenneth J.
Okay.
In fact, many people do not even know that he's called Gilbert. And so for a minister hearing that they have appointed somebody called Gilbert J, it was because the minister did not even know that his colleague, her colleague minister is called Gilbert. It is a known fact. But everybody knows that when the flag issue came, one of the ministers that actually went on that tour with His Excellency the President to access the situation was the former Works and Housing Minister who has now been appointed a defense minister. You understand the point?
Okay,
so really, it is not an issue we should discuss. He's talking about insensitivity. Were you in this country when in 2020, 8 people died during the general election? Did President Kufuor utter a word about that situation? Were you in this country?
Okay.
My brother Aaron. No, more. Let me give me some few minutes to discuss this matter. 8 people died. President Kufuor and Dr. Bawumia did not say anything about it. At the time, Dr. Bawumia was the chairman of the police council. He did not utter a word. Why? In 2017, 37 people died in a fire incident when a VIP bus was traveling from Boku to Accra. What did President Kufuor say about it? He did not say anything about it. We are talking about people calling people names. Why? Dr. Bawumia, did he not label President Mahama Malam John? Do you remember Malam John? Were you there? He labeled President Mahama Malam John. Was that not insulting? Where were you in this country? What did you say about it? What did you say about it? So, really, Moro, there's no issue.
Okay.
He said that, Thanksgiving, some Thanksgiving was done, and what have you. Moro, even the Bible tells us that in all our difficulties, you must give thanks to the God. That after all that had happened,
okay,
even of the 8 gallant fallen heroes, the memorial service was done to thank God for their lives.
Okay.
And pray that God will have them in his bosom.
Okay.
And so if a flood situation has happened, and that it could have been worse off than what actually happened, and that in everything, praises and thanks must be given to God, what has the president actually done? What is wrong with that? You understand the point? So the criticisms from the NPP on this whole demonstration matter and all the things my brother Alampai has said.
Okay. Oh, I'm Aaron.
Aaron
calling me Alampai.
has not
Alampai on national television.
My brother Aaron, the president is put out clearly.
What is that his nickname?
Oh,
no, my mother has an issue with that name. My mother. She came to visit me.
So Moro. The issues raised by my good brother,
Oh my God.
they are side issues.
Okay.
They do not address the issue. Even it's about